So it was said that Barcelona were not going to be making any signings in this January transfer window. Xavi Hernandez did say like a couple of days ago that he was okay with Barcelona not making any reinforcements. We have also heard Mateo Alemán stating that we're probably not going to be like expecting too much because Barcelona cannot really do anything, but it does seem like Barcelona will be bringing in two brand new players in this January transfer window, and those two players is Julian Araujo from LA Galaxy, and player number 2 will be Sofyan Amrabat from Fiorentina, which is very, very surprising. You guys know how surprising this is because again, many of us we did not expect Barcelona to make nothing, like no signings at all, probably do some exits, but to bring in two new players to reinforce this squad that will for sure make this team even better, that is a miracle, my friends. It's a miracle, and we're here to talk about it because now Barcelona are looking to bring in another brand new player in the summer, and they're also going to be making a few exits. And so let's talk about all of this. And so like I've said earlier today, or maybe even yesterday, Joan Laporta, Mateo Alemán, Rafa Yuste, Oscar Hernandez, Jordi Cruyff, all of these people did have a meeting, and they were discussing, okay, what could we do? What can we do in the dying hours of this transfer window that can reinforce our squad? They understood that the only thing that Barcelona could probably do is to renew Xavi, Araujo, and Marcos Alonso and to register their brand new contracts, but they believed that they can do something else. And so before we even begin talking about Amrabat and Julian Araujo, let's talk about Pavard, because this has been another right back that Barcelona want to bring in to reinforce the right back position, but in the summer, which is why I want to bring this conversation up first. And it says here that Pavard's management has already started working on a potential summer move to Barcelona. Xavi, involved in the operation as an agent, will be handling all of this. Pavard wants Barcelona and wants this move as soon as possible. It has also been said that the management of Pavard have been in contact with Barcelona for a few weeks now. Then it has also been said that there is almost a full pre-agreement between the player and FC Barcelona for a summer move. I want us to get this very clear. This is for a summer move, not for the January transfer window. As for Bayern Munich and FC Barcelona, those talks have not started yet, but everything could be fully agreed between the player and FC Barcelona. It's going to be a very similar operation to what we saw between Frankie de Jong and Barcelona back in 2019. And let me tell you, bringing in someone like him, like Pavard, who is going to come from Bayern Munich, this is a great reinforcement. This is somebody that can bring in great ball distributions. He knows how to take shots from outside the box. He is not the most athletic, which is why I think that a great pair between Dembélé and Pavard will be very ideal for Xavi Hernandez because they will be able to cover each other's weaknesses, and it would be amazing, right? I don't think that we're probably going to be seeing Pavard like overlap Dembélé or any of that because he simply just doesn't have that type of athleticism. There is cons on this player, but overall what he brings in terms of ball distribution and making those crosses and being great in the defense is going to be one hell of a signing. I do think that Pavard would also allow someone like Alejandro Balde to flourish into the final third, and we'll probably see a back three of Pavard, Araujo, and Koundé. So with Pavard, for sure, like I would say 99% for sure, coming in the summer of 2023, what does this say for the other right backs that Barcelona were looking at? Like for example, Arnau Martinez. It says here, according to Javi Miguel, that Arnau Martinez wasn't Xavi's #1 right back target after all. Foyth and Pavard are the best position candidates, but Pavard is the #1 choice for Xavi Hernandez. And then it says here, according to Mateo Moreto, that Arnau Martinez has already said yes to joining Atletico Madrid in the summer. Atletico Madrid has already made an offer, but Girona wants the transfer to be around 20 million euros in total, and it could be completed soon. And so look, it's very surprising to hear that Arnau Martinez is going to be a Atletico Madrid player on a permanent move, because again, we thought that this player wanted to join FC Barcelona. We thought Xavi Hernandez saw Arnau Martinez as the ideal future right back instead of someone like Pavard or Foyth, but things have turned, and maybe I feel like Arnau Martinez was probably looking at this and saying, okay, if you're gonna look at Pavard, if you're gonna be looking at Foyth and you see me as like a backup option, I don't want to be that. I want to be a starter. I want to be a right back that my coach can rely on, and he probably wants more prominence, which I understand. Like every player wants to have more prominence in their specific clubs, and if Arnau Martinez does believe that a team like Atletico Madrid will give him more prominence, more importance, then so be it. Because right, what if Xavi Hernandez did call Arnau Martinez and said, look, we like how you play, we like what you have been doing with Girona, we understand that you have been a Barcelona player before back in your youth years, but if you were to come, you're probably going to be as a B option in the right back position, whether you come in this season or in the following season. And maybe Arnau Martinez did not really like that, which is why he is making the choice to go to Atletico Madrid. And now that is why we are in a position where Barcelona is saying, we want to have Pavard, we want to have a pre-agreement with this player because he is the future of our right back position. Now, what does this also say about another player? Because another player I also do want to bring in before we even talk about someone like Julian Araujo, it is going to be Bellerin. Because it says here, according to Fabrizio Romano, that Sporting are closing in on a deal to sign Hector Bellerin. There's an agreement on a permanent move plus sell-on clause for FC Barcelona. So everything does indicate that Bellerin will no longer be a Barcelona player starting like tomorrow, maybe in about 2 or 3 hours, or maybe by the time I do upload this video, Bellerin will no longer be a Barcelona player. We saw this from afar. We saw what Bellerin was doing this season. He barely had any prominence. Xavi Hernandez did not really count on this player, and every time he did play, he did not really impress. It just doesn't seem like this is a player that can be Barcelona level or Barcelona material, which is why Barcelona are looking for other options. They want to let go of this player. They're looking for a B option. They're also looking for a right back that they could bring in the summer and can give Barcelona many years, which is why, again, going back to what we talked about in the beginning of this video, Barcelona are putting their focus on 2 players, Pavard and Julian Araujo. So there is a 99% chance that Julian will be a Barcelona player because, like I've said, Sporting are going to be selling one of their right backs to Tottenham, which is why Sporting are going to bring in Bellerin, and now Barcelona in the end are going to be left with no right back, which is why they have this player on their radar. And it says here, according to Albert Rogue, that Barcelona is negotiating the loan of LA Galaxy right back Julian Araujo. The 21-year-old Mexican would arrive with an option to buy in the summer. So here's the thing, right? I want to just look at the bigger picture of Julian Araujo and also bringing in Pavard in the summer. These 2 players. I think to have these 2 right backs by the time we do start next season, right, full time, because Julian Araujo will be coming in about 24 hours while Pavard will come in about 6 months. If we were to have these 2 players by next season, it would be great because these are 2 players that does carry experience. These are also 2 players that does have a lot of athleticism. It's a mix, right? Araujo brings the athleticism, Pavard brings the experience, and we can build on top of whatever Julian can bring to FC Barcelona. Do I believe that Julian Alvarez is very one-dimensional with LA Galaxy? Because I have seen this player basically play in person, and yes, I do think that he is one-dimensional, but he's really good at what he does, right, in terms of running down that right flank and making those crosses. And I think that Xavi Hernandez is going to be teaching Araujo how to be more dynamic, like what he has been doing with Dembele. And I do believe that someone like also Pavard, by the time he does come in the summer, will be teaching Julian Araujo a lot on what he does know and what he has been doing with Bayern Munich. So it's very exciting. It's a very great mix, and this is also going to lead towards Koundé playing more as a center back, having more prominence, playing with Araujo. And so again, it's very exciting. What does this also mean for Christensen? I just think that there's going to be heavier rotation between Christensen, Eric Garcia, and Jules Koundé. Ronald Araujo will always be that main center back in that defensive line. And so again, I want to make this very clear. Julian Araujo will 99% come to Barcelona in a couple of hours. I think that this will be a great signing. If he does well, of course, we can sign this player full time and on a permanent move. Keep in mind that our Barcelona B coach is Rafa Marquez, who was also a Mexican player about 10 years ago. So he does have close connections to Julian because he is also Mexican, and I do think that they will have a great connection once he does arrive. If Xavi Hernandez does say that Julian Araujo should go into Barcelona B first, great, because Rafa Marquez is there, and I do think that Rafa Marquez is going to greatly take care of this player and his development, because eventually I just think that this player has a gift, right? I think that this player can give a lot. He has a future, and hopefully everything goes well because he will have all the material, all the people in the world to succeed at FC Barcelona. And so worst case scenario, if Julian Araujo does end up like switching on and off with Barcelona B and then going into the first team, that's okay, that's great, as long as he does develop and he brings in more promising performances as the season does go by. And by the time this season is over, if Xavi Hernandez still thinks that this player needs more development in Barcelona B, again, that's fine. That is why Barcelona are looking to bring in Pavard in the summer. So it's a great decision. No wonder Joan Laporta, Jordi Cruyff, and all of these people had a meeting yesterday. And so now moving on from the right back position, and now I do want to talk about Barcelona bringing in another player in this January transfer window, which is Sofyan Amrabat, who is a defensive midfielder for Morocco and also Fiorentina. And so again, another very surprising decision from Mateo Lemán, Xavi Hernandez, and Joan Laporta, because this would be a great signing to reinforce the squad right now, like in this season. This guy is a defensive midfielder that has shown that he can deliver in big stages. Like for example, him going up against Spain in the World Cup, he had an amazing performance defensively. He also had an amazing performance against France when he was defending Kylian Mbappe. And if we look at his stats here, we can see that in terms of passes attempted, he is in the 92 percentile. In terms of pass completion rate, he's in the 95 percentile. Progressive passes, 95 percentile. Blocks, 78 percentile. This basically means that when it comes to, let's say for example, progressive passes, Amrabat is better than 95% of all players in the top 5 leagues in Europe. So it's a huge deal, right? Because this is, I would say, a dream signing for the January transfer window. I can already see what Xavi could do with someone like him, because again, he has shown such a great level in the World Cup, and he can bring this to Barcelona. He can do this when we are out there playing against Manchester United or Real Madrid in the semifinals. I can really see Xavi Hernandez using this player in the double pivot position when we are forming that 3-2-2-3 system, team, and we have Amrabat next to Frankie de Jong with Pedri and Gavi. And keep in mind, this player was seen at Barcelona a few days ago when Barcelona did face Getafe. He was at the Camp Nou. So maybe things were going on behind the scenes that we did not know about, and now we're barely finding out about it today. So again, it's huge news, a lot to get excited for. Barcelona, again, they're making great decisions. They're pushing Arnau Martinez out the way. They want to bring in Pavard in the summer. They want to fix our short-term problem, which is to bring in Julian Araujo to replace Bellerin, who will be going to Sporting. And now Xavi Hernandez has also said, let's also bring in a defensive midfielder to back up Sergio Busquets and to strengthen this squad overall, because Barcelona will be playing many games and these players will be up for the task. So as soon as these moves do get completed when it comes to Amrabat and also Julian Araujo, we are going to be talking about it here in this YouTube channel. The transfer window will be closing in about 24 hours, and so we'll see what Barcelona do next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.